How you doing, everybody, and welcome back to Dicey Decisions, where we roll dice, spin stories, and play some games. So, this week's Dicey Spotlight is, again, going to be me ranting. There's a lot of things to be upset at in the world. And what Wizards of the Coast does not seem to understand is that people can be angry about multiple things at once. For example, the fact that they still have said absolutely nothing and will refuse to do absolutely nothing about Mike Merles, who should be fired. He is an unsafe person. He does not care about anyone other than himself, and he should not be a part of the world's greatest role-playing game. My friends and I love Dungeons and Dragons. We love playing Dungeons and Dragons, but the people in charge of this wonderful game are pushing people away from the hobby with this game that is considered synonymous with TTRPGs as a whole. This should not be how people see D&D. This is not how people should see tabletop role-playing games. And if you don't see that, I highly encourage you to use Google as a resource, because it is nobody's job to educate you. And if you don't understand the situation right now, look harder. Let's play some D&D.
Tiff,
Oh.
please roll me a d4.
Okay.
And if you need more time, just let me know.
It was cocked. Hold on.
How do you cock a D4?
Don't worry about it. It was on my phone. Okay. I rolled a 4.
Mike,
I'm number 4.
I started with me as number 1, so that way I wouldn't have to fucking...
Nice. Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon balls.
Last time on Dragon Balls.
Balls.
Last night for dinner was balls.
That's true. We all ate balls for dinner last night.
Yeah, we did. And last time we were given a missive from the school that we are supposed to go out on missions and help the local populace, because probably for donations and money from for the school. Who knows? There's probably money involved.
There's usually money involved.
Yeah.
I must
In the absence of a sports program, they gotta bring in the cash somehow.
see a dime of it.
So we go out to the town. Apparently people have been hearing music at night. And so we go to the local temple of Melele, where we learn how to cast
You want to
Sharere.
try that? You want to try that name
It's Malil?
properly?
Is it Malil?
Yes.
Melele. So, so we go and talk to, like, the ticket booth guy, I guess. And he's like, hey, because the church is like a theater, sort of, because it's, you know, it's the god of bards, more or less. He's like, yeah, there's some shit going on in the graveyard out back, probably. You should go there. And so we go out there, and then fucking skeletons come out of the ground like fucking Thriller and shit. and start attacking us, and we kill them. And Meridia has a moment. Meridia had like a couple of moments, and then we start heading back. And you said the last thing I remember you saying was, as you start heading back, I think it was Cadence heard the faint sound of drums.
So you all were going into the church, I think.
I said I wanted a drink, but it looks like Meridia needs to like chill for a bit. So if we need to sit down before going bar hopping at 3 PM, you know, we could do whatever.
So yes, you guys were going into the church. So you enter into this church/theater. And you see the same guy who was at the ticket booth, the head priest you would probably gather.
Mm-hmm.
You see him sweeping up on the stage. You kind of come in through like a stage door. And he's just... What happened?
We have a skeleton problem in the graveyard.
To be fair, that is where the skeletons are supposed to be.
See?
Just
She
not-
has the right of it.
Just not.
Not walking around and killing people.
Ideally, they should be underground.
They weren't.
No.
Oh,
I say, Tenchi, fetch. And Tenchi, like, leaps off of my shoulder and comes back a couple minutes later with a skull just in his little hand and drops it at the guy's feet.
It's like a weird dent in it.
He actually jumps back a few feet.
You have a skeleton problem.
Yes, clearly. Meanwhile, during all of this, Meridia is like 1,000-yard stare. Just she's actually taken a seat in the house of this theater, just kind of staring off. But the guy looks at the skeleton or the skull and just says, "So, do you have any idea of what's going on?"
It seems to be centered around the crypt of Opalfoot.
Nope.
No, that is
Definitely
the dwarf from Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
The original headmaster Uldric
yeah.
Uldric.
was
Yeah.
his name.
Original old. No,
The crypt to
Axton.
Alston?
That was Axton. Whatever.
That should be
Where?
warded against any invasion. We hold that place in very high regard.
Are there
Wow.
any ways for people to perhaps get in there that you could think of?
The only one who has any sort of access is me.
Insight check.
You may roll an insight check.
I want to. Okay, now I'm a little suspect of this guy.
That's fair.
Or
Or is it? Who knows? I certainly don't.
You're the DM.
I'm gonna use the blue one. The blue one has served me well in killing
You
people.
say that as though I have things written down.
I mean, as far as we can tell, it is warded.
I'm proficient in insight.
Huh.
That doesn't help much. 11.
He seems on the level.
Excellent. I shake my butt a little bit as I'm thinking, and I inspire Cadence.
As far as I can tell,
Wait,
Maybe
do we
it
get
is-
inspiration per day or per...
short rest.
Okay.
Oh, you can inspire me if you want.
And so I do. It's very jiggly. I give you a
You
very
all
jiggly
inspire me
inspiration.
every day.
Aww.
Aw.
Is he a criminal?
No, as far as I can tell, this guy's an idiot. But
So, Cadence, what are you doing?
I'm talking out loud, where I think that us being near the crypt was activating whatever warding might have been. The skeletons were a response to it. Like whatever warding crypt may have had.
Like they were the security system?
Maybe. Makes sense, doesn't it?
No, it's a pretty fucked up security system.
That is not quite what the security system should do. In my recollection, when the wards were placed there, they were just meant to repel people. They would not form any sort of guard. They would just encourage people to not look at the crypt.
Wow.
So,
Why?
if the wards were broken, they would essentially feel as though they had walked into the kitchen and forgotten why they went in there.
That happens to me a lot.
Meridia just, I bet it does.
Hey,
And
you're
it's the
still
first thing she
there.
said in like 10 minutes.
Feeling better?
No.
What do you need right now?
For all of those skeletons to be gone. And you can hear her voice drop when she says that.
Maybe you need a drink.
Really intent on going to a bar.
I need a drink after that. Also, local gossip could be helpful.
A point.
For once, Juniper has a good idea.
I am chock full of these sometimes. It's the outfit.
It is full of something, that is for sure.
Yeah, it is.
And the head priest is just like, you may be able to find something out from the taverns. Given the amount of them, you may have a tricky time just pinning down any particular people. But I assure you, this town is full of gossip.
Any recommendations? This place is full of bars. You know, the most frequented one. Perhaps by individuals of a seedy nature. It's a college town. I'm sure some weird shit goes on.
I don't know about the seedier places.
Oh, come on.
Find
He
it
just, kind
eventually.
of, he just kind of narrows his eyes. I was
You need-
going to recommend the one that would actually have the most people willing to actually help rather than making your lives harder.
That sounds like a fun time. Sorry, again, that's the outfit. I'll be quiet.
Any leads would be appreciated.
You will probably have the most luck at the waxing gibbous. Or is it waning? Can't remember which.
All right. Are you okay if we come back before dark?
I would very much appreciate a little security.
I don't know how to spell gibbous.
Oh god. You are showing us your shame there, Mike.
What happened?
I'm Googling it.
He opened a Chrome browser to search how to spell the word gibbous, as in one of the phases of the moon.
Whatever. No one's gonna see your notes.
O-U-S. Alright. G-I-B-B-O-U-S. Alright. I learned something.
So
today.
Meridia gets to her feet a little shakily. And just kind of takes a centering breath for a moment. Alright. I suppose we're going to go drink then.
Woo!
And I assume Junie's just like charging out of the doors of the theater.
No, she's waiting for everyone. She's the
I mean,
oldest.
Meridia's right there.
I think a
Oh,
drink
like-
will do some good.
I will fall into step with Meridia. And try not to look like I'm mothering her.
I just wanted to say that while we're walking out, want Cadence. Actually, Cadence would have just done this anyway. Message everyone to say that she had heard the drum beats from the graveyard. Did we ever clarify if it was a graveyard or a?
It is a graveyard.
It is a graveyard because it is attached to a church.
Yes.
Okay, right.
As opposed to a cemetery.
The more you know.
It's only a creature, but she does it to everyone, like message, because she doesn't want the priest to hear. She doesn't trust that guy. Just to say that, like, there's something very wrong with that graveyard because there are drums coming from it. Very faintly.
Then we should definitely come back after dark.
Meridia just nods and she moves to actually lightly touch your shoulder, Cadence. You notice she's not, like, burning hot anymore. I see you resisting the comment, Mike.
Trying.
What did you say, Tiff?
I lean into it.
As everyone is filing out, Toshiko will kind of like loiter. She usually follows up the line anyway, so not in a conspicuous way. And she'll turn to the clergyman, I guess.
The head priest?
Head priest, yeah. You said that the enchantments were to stop people from looking. Why would you not want people to look at the crypt?
It is not so much the looking. It is, if someone were to break the wards, the enchantment encourages them. It doesn't blind them. It doesn't do anything like that. It simply encourages them that there are far more interesting things elsewhere.
Why would you want to encourage people to not
Deface the body?
Why would someone want to deface it?
Because there are some very ill individuals in this world, Miss.
Can you tell me about the first headmaster? Was he against the changing of the school to be multifaceted?
And he just kind of takes a breath and goes, I was not a student of the academy, but from what records I've been able to find, he was the head of it. He was the head of the Academy of Music. And it was at a certain point that they began to branch out into things that were not simply music. This was not something that he would have approved of, but his son has been the one ensuring that the school becomes known for more than simply its music.
So this was rather recent.
Yes, the Academy's branching out into... The Academy's royal funding has only been within the last decade or so.
I see. Interesting. Good to know. Thank you. And she'll
You're-
kind of file out.
You are quite welcome.
Dashka, you coming? Yeah.
Yes, coming. And she follows up.
So at this point, Meridia is just very lightly leaning onto Meridia. Not...
Onto...
Meridia is very lightly leaning onto Cadence.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because they're like roughly the same height, we kind of determined. And you guys head towards the waxing / waning gibbous.
Yeah.
So if you guys recall, when you were coming into town, I described a good number of different kinds of taverns. Ones that, featured this, that, and the other to try to attract people's attention.
Yes.
What you see as you come to the signpost that says it looks like it's actually on a pivot of some kind, so like it could be turned around fairly easily.
Pivot? Sorry, I don't even like Friends.
And so you see that currently it says it is the waxing gibbous.
But it changes.
Oh, interesting.
That's a nice gimmick. Probably really unhelpful on Yelp.
It's probably how
Fantasy
they
Yelp.
avoid. That's probably how they avoid bad reviews.
Yeah, on Fantasy
On
Yelp,
Fantasy
they just
Yelp.
Yeah.
It's ye olde Yelp
Ye
with an E at the
olde
end.
Yelp.
Yelpy.
Yelpy.
Fuck. I gotta make a thing for that.
So, as you enter this this tavern, the thing that strikes you about it, the thing that clearly must be both A, what attracts people to it, like what their selling point is, and B, what its namesake must be, is that it is a 3-tiered tavern.
Whoa.
So on the first level, as you walk in, there is a great deal of seating kind of surrounding a central long bar.
Okay.
And on one side of that bar, or rather, so that the bar is against a wall, and all the tables are kind of strewn around it, there is a large stage at one other side of the wall that is currently empty because it's about 3 o'clock. It's not exactly like prime time.
Exactly prime time. Pretty close to prime time.
Close, but no cigar.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Then there are 2 sets of stairs on either side of this seating area that go up to a second seating level that has slightly less cluttered tables that look to be a little bit more, like, laid out in a more friendly manner to move about through. And then there are stairs that continue upwards on the sides of that level that go up to the very top level, which have only about 4 tables with sparse seating, but you have a view of the entire tavern from there.
Okay.
And is anyone in the tavern right now?
I mean, yeah, there's a few people milling about. There is a pair of gentlemen behind the bar. One is a half-elven man, quite well-dressed, very well-maintained appearance. Every little thing seems to be in place specifically to be a performance in and of itself. Hair is coiffed perfectly, has one earring that is very finely polished. The other is a larger half-orc gentleman, also well-dressed, but in more of a rugged way. Rather than being, fineries, it's more work clothing. And as well as that, there are a few people at a couple of the tables on the first level, but the second and third actually seem to have small wooden barricades on the stairs leading up to them.
Tashiko kind of gestures to Tenchi, and he hops up on her shoulder and is very close to where her face would be. She's not exactly happy about how crowded like, it's not crowded, but there's a lot of things to trip over here.
Fair.
Well, Juniper, you brought us here. Let's go grab a drink.
Yes, please.
They glance up as, like, the both of them glance up as you walk over. Both of them smiling, in a friendly way. But it's the half-elven gentleman that speaks up first, actually. Welcome to the... And he stops for a second. Waxing Gibbons. What can we do for you today?
Like the gimmick you got here. You're a couple of students looking for a drink.
That seems to be just about the way of things around here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the half-orc guy just kind of goes, there isn't a day that we get students coming down here. A bit early, isn't it?
We've already had a
Maybe.
long day.
Yeah.
And the elven gentleman, and why would that be? Please, sit, tell your tale. Or would you rather sing it?
Well, first, what do you have on tap?
What do you like?
What do you got?
What I'm saying is, just ask, and I will see what we have.
I'm trying to do a thing. Okay, no. Do they have any dark liquors?
Yeah, I mean, you see that the bar is extremely well stocked. This seems
Yeah.
to be one of the better off places.
I'll basically have the fantasy version of an old-fashioned.
Gotcha. Probably still called an oldie fashioned. Spelled with an E.
Older fashioned.
They slide the oldie fashioned in front of you.
Nice.
The old fashioned.
For you, Miss
Whom's to me?
would it be racist to ask if you want a glass of water?
A little bit. But
Mm,
would it be
Might-
racist to ask if you would prefer wine?
You have me there. And
this is
he just kind
uncomfortable
of
now.
he actually like deeply bows, like full on the deepest possible bow he can give, and he's just, my deepest apologies, please. Your drinks are on the house.
Oh, thank you. You're already on a better track record than usually thought. I'll just settle for a regular gin and tonic.
A very classic drink. For you, Miss, you have a creature of some kind on your shoulder.
Yes. This is Tenchi. He's my seeing eye Tanuki.
And the half-orc actually comes over to you, and he's like, 7 foot, so he has to like bend all the way down and actually holds out his hand for Tenchi's paw.
He shakes it.
Nice to meet you, Tenchi.
Polite one.
And he kind of looks at you after backing up, obviously, because he's a little too close.
Hmm.
An impressive work of artificery.
Thank you. I can't take total credit.
Well, you're the one I can praise for it, so you're getting the credit right now.
Thank you. I am not old enough to drink. but I'm here for the company.
You don't have to admit that. No.
So, juice then?
Juice is fine.
Would something else be better?
Do you have milk?
That we do. And so the half-orc actually goes behind the bar and goes into an ice chest underneath the bar and pours up a glass of cold milk.
Nice.
Wow.
Actual child Toshiko.
actual child Toshiko. She is only 19.
What is the drinking age in this country? Nation, wherever the fuck we are.
You guys made some pretty bold assumptions there.
Well, she would think that she is not old enough to drink. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Oh my god, what did you do? Oh my god, Mike. Mike,
What did you do?
look in the fucking nonsense.
God. Look, have you been working on that?
No
Since
wonder
about
Judy
the
hasn't
time
said
we-
anything.
About the time we got into the bar.
Jesus Christ.
Liz.
Ye
Make
olde
sure to post
Yelp.
that to the Twitter after your after this goes up.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
And then, so both of them, the half elf looks to Meridia and just says, "It's not often we see Claire's come through our door, at least not from up the road. What can we get you?" And Meridia is just kind of, "I will have what? No.
Also,
Yeah.
Funny.
No. I was trying to think of what Meridia would actually say."
I'll have what she's
like-
having.
I silently message her, be like, if you're uncomfortable about drinking, I could speak for you. If you're alright with that.
And Meridia actually, you see her cheeks color some at your message. And she
And-
just... Message doesn't allow a sent back, does it?
It does.
Oh, it does.
Oh, it does?
You
You
can
can reply
reply
to
to
the
this
message.
message.
It's like a silent, basically like medieval texting.
Gotcha.
Medieval texting in the brain. Because that's how they did it in medieval times.
Yeah! Everyone had psychic powers back in the day.
Oh, God.
And she just says back to you, "I need to learn to broaden my horizon." And she looks back to the half-elf and just says, "Rum, please."
Yeah.
Nice.
Or- Nice.
Yeah, you guys all get your drinks. And you cheers. Everybody roll me a constitution check. Not a saving throw, just a check. Except for Toshiko, yes. You're not gonna get milk drunk.
I am
no.
not an actual baby.
20.
Another 11.
You got a nat 20, Cadence?
That's 20, but yeah.
What did you get?
Alright, from...
At 20.
No. What drink did you get?
Oh, a gin and tonic, so. Yeah.
Nice.
Alright. So Meridia also rolled with disadvantage.
Oh, God.
Poor thing.
My message be like a bardic inspiration. I feel so bad for her.
So, Cadence, what did you get?
At 20.
Nat 20. You are, taking this like a fucking champ.
I'm sipping it. Very cool. Very calm.
Oh, yes.
Water.
Junie, you got an 11.
11.
You didn't really eat much this morning, so this is getting to you a little bit.
That's kind of the feeling. I wanted to get a little bit buzzed. Just fought a bunch of fucking skeletons, you know? I need to just...
Meridia takes one sip of the rum and just starts coughing.
Wee baby.
No, honey, you gotta savor it. You gotta swill it around a little bit. Don't just inhale it.
Yeah. I pat her on the back a little.
She just, bows her head over the, she's not getting sick, but you can see that she is clearly quite embarrassed, and she just kind of, hides herself in her glass a little bit.
It's okay. Happens to the best of us. Just gotta do it slowly. Makes you look cooler.
So Toshiko reaches out and kind of makes a switching motion to Meridia with the milk and the rum, just to see if she'll go for it.
Are you want a drink?
Meridia just says, "No, no, I'm not letting a child drink."
She called you a child.
Self-identified baby.
The ship
Um,
has ended.
All right. I don't know what this was be, but she's gonna just. No, I'm not gonna have her try and take it. I'm not gonna have her try and take
Fucking
it.
bar
Are you
brawl
sure?
at 3 in the afternoon.
Yes. She like looks up to the bartender. I'm not old enough to drink, but Tenchi is old enough to drink. Can I have a sake for the tanuki, please?
Deception check.
Definitely give your bardic inspiration for this. Like, the Tanuki's definitely old enough. You see how old the players are. Chino, can this just be a help action?
Yeah, just fucking.
Natural 20.
I'm going to need proof.
Yep.
Oh my god! Hold on, I'm gonna go.
It's this one here.
Oh my god!
I'm sending you the picture, Troy.
That was a natural 20. That's good shit. God, why can't we fight like this?
Because it's not about fighting, it's about drinking. We're in college.
So, you see the half-orc just kind of smile and start reaching for a bottle of sake.
Nice.
You see the half-elf reach out and stop his hand. And you actually hear them bickering quietly for a minute.
Ew.
I love them.
And eventually the half-orc just kind of... The half-elf actually just... and walks away. And the half-orc pours the sake into like a proper serving cup and sets it right down in front of Tenchi.
Tenchi picks it up with his little hands and just hands it to Meridia. I said she just wanted to buy her crush a drink.
She called you a child.
I know.
Meridia just kind of looks down at her full glass of rum and just says, "I already have a drink, Toshiko."
You might like this better. It's not as hard.
I don't know if I will like any of it, to be entirely truthful. And she just takes another begrudging sip of the rum.
You don't have to finish it if you don't.
No! I'm drinking. She takes another sip and just pounds the bar. It tastes like a campfire.
I think you need a chaser. I think you need a chaser. Try the sake after drinking the rum.
Nope, this is the point in which, like, Toshiko was trying to be nice and trying to be sweet. She grabs the sake and she just knocks it back.
How dare you?
Tenchi actually go. Oh, what'd you get?
No, go ahead.
Tenchi goes.
Kinesis also does that, but like in a fun, like she's smiling, like, huh?
I love this.
Okay, so I rolled a 4 for my constitution. But I have is it a save or is it just a check?
Just a check.
So that's still a 9.
Roll with disadvantage.
Well, that was a 17, so.
Okay.
So you feel quite immediately sick.
Yes, of course. She's a baby.
Wrong
Like
pipe.
you get the coughing that Meridia had, but also the moment this stuff hits your stomach, you're just like, oh, don't like that.
That's why Mom and Dad wouldn't let me have any.
Just finds out she's allergic.
This is one of the.
No, we're trying to play characters that are not like ourselves. We don't need Carly allergic to many things, both in and out of game.
I'm allergic to 2 things.
Which
2.
are in everything.
I'm allergic to strawberries and I'm allergic to oranges. Not citrus fruits in general, just oranges.
Oh god. Uh-oh. Our internet just went poopy.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay.
yes. Okay, y'all are back.
All right, repeat what you said, Troy.
Take 1 point of damage.
That's fair.
Poison
Aw.
damage.
And meanwhile, Meridia has taken that sip and powered through whatever dislike she's had.
You took 1 point of sake damage.
No, you don't have to drink straight alcohol. Alcohol can be enjoyable. They're called cocktails.
Oh, okay.
Rattle mine.
I thought that she was the one who made jokes about. Never mind.
Meridia just kind of.
Did you just make a dick joke?
I think that's the alcohol talking.
Oh, my precious baby.
Meridia's like looked shocked at first and is now just laughing along with you guys.
All right, so that was her ultimate goal, was making Meridia not be sad.
All right, back to flirting with the bartender.
Yes, that was a nice diversion.
Yes.
So where do we leave off?
I leaned over the bar very seductively.
It's
that.
out on the
Tits-
bar.
Tits out on the bar. Actually, she's there's not actually a lot being revealed, I've now realized, because she's got the underboob thing going on, so when she leans over the bar, it really doesn't show much, but also, like, she's wearing the Dom outfit, so, like, anyway.
And it's more about the gesture.
More about the gesture. She leans over the bar, and it's just like, so, what's your name?
And this is to the half-orc, correct?
Yes, sir.
My name is... Let me check how this is. Kamar.
Come on.
I am Kamar. My partner's name is Hilal.
You two been together long? You run this place?
We do, yes. It's been something of a pet project.
That's wonderful. It's always nice to have something that you can just work on until it's just something special for yourself. Tell me, Kamar, do you hear a lot of gossip around here?
After like a couple of seconds have passed and like he's past the word pet project, Tashiko goes, Tenchi is my pet project.
Oh my
She's drunk.
fucking god.
She's drunk.
One shot of sake.
All it takes.
Milk and sake.
I thought this character was not supposed to be like you, Carly.
She is 19.
You're a child, yes.
I'm a child. I am 23 years old. I am an adult woman. I have a credit score. Okay?
She has a husband, 2 cats, and a credit score.
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's adulthood right there.
I
How
got...
many husbands do you have, Troy?
Listen. Don't ask. So, he says, what kind of a tavern owner would I be if I didn't have gossip?
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I have heard some pretty interesting things about what goes on at night around here, specifically hearing strange music. Do you know anything about that?
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Anyone want to inspire me or help out on this?
Sure. How many? do I have?
I'm gonna tell you this right now over the table. Don't bother.
Okay.
Save it.
Persuasion, you say?
Yep.
24.
Hey, remember how I was just saying that I'm not allergic to everything? I have a rash on my neck.
Really?
Carly!
I think it might be my new perfume. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, he rolled a nat 1. So,
Turns out he's bi. Works out.
he literally goes, "Oh, so you're asking about those rumors about all the music? Yeah, we've been really trying to fight against it. You know, all the taverns stay open different hours. Like some of them close real early. They're the more family-friendly establishments. There's some that stay open real late. We're kind of in that middle space. We get to bed at a reasonable hour, but we don't exactly, we can see the next day come through, we'll say."
So you've seen a lot of it?
Oh yes, we've heard. We've had to contend with it, we should say.
Contend? Does it do anything?
It interrupts the performances, and he motions towards the big stage.
It's that loud?
Some nights it is, some nights it's very brief. Sometimes we'll hear a bit of it, coming from outside. We'll send a bouncer out to go check, usually me. He kind of grumbles that. And there's just nothing out there. We don't hear it again for the rest of the night. Sometimes it's little sporadic bursts. Sometimes there's full-on performances that we're hearing that aren't from our stage. Those nights we've had to close some nights because of it.
So it's not just in your head, it is actual music that doesn't have a source.
Nothing that we've been able to see, and people have gone trying to look for it, and some of them have come back and just said that they didn't find anything. Some of them haven't come back.
What happens when people go into the fucking crypt? They immediately remember something better that they have to do. If they followed the music, if it came from the crypt and they followed the music to the crypt and tried to go in, they would have been like, "Oh, you know what? I gotta go pee." And been like, "Yep, couldn't find it."
Very true. Very true.
Do you say all of that out loud?
I am saying this and I'm acting like I'm swinging my drink around like it's finally hit me. I've been taking sips. It's finally hit me. I'm like what's the guy from Always Sunny where he's like pointing at
Charlie
like,
Day.
he's like pointing at the wall like Judy just does that.
Tashiko is watching this and then turns to the half-orc gentleman whose name I cannot remember. Tenchi needs another drink.
I think I'm gonna cut Tenchi off.
Excuse our friends, but yeah. We're here to solve that problem.
So you think that all of this is coming from Headmaster Uldrich's tomb?
We have a suspicion about it, yeah.
We only have the bare bones of a plan, but
She said it funny.
The half-elf kind of looks up from where he's conversing with some of the other patrons.
Oh, there's
just kinda
other people
glares
here.
at you. What?
There's other people here.
There are, in fact, other people here. Some of them are starting to file out now, though.
I'm being a nuisance.
What
Whatever.
else
It's
is new?
4 in the afternoon.
It's 4 in the afternoon. They should expect nothing better.
4 in the afternoon. Your eyes are the size of the moon.
I'm going through my catalog of the lyrics of that song.
Trying to see if there's another reference we can make. I think we just dropped it. No. Dropped the ball. Sorry, Troy. Good pass.
I try.
I got it though. Panic at them.
So, the half-orc just kind of Well, I suppose if you guys are here to deal with it, then your drinks are doubly on the house. If you come back and deal with it, we'll let you perform here.
We're not much for performance, but we'll take the free drinks.
You're bards. You're from the college, right?
I'm kind of the only one that's got a... You said you're a bit of a family-friendly establishment?
No. There are family-friendly establishments, but there are also... What led you to come into the Gibbous today?
You were the first on a list of recommendations we got. And you had a cool name.
From the
What was
head
his-
priest?
I don't know, what was his name?
Yes, from the head priest.
Yeah, that guy. Some
Okay, I
dude.
Oh, so we like him. He is not the stuffy shirted type that would tell us you can't have any sort of debauchery.
Well,
But
if
he
you
does
let
come
me
in on-
perform, there's plenty
He does
of
come in time to time to make sure it's not too raucous in here.
God damn it, Carly.
Alright, Carly.
I'm so itchy. I'm so sorry. I'll be back.
Okay.
All for Carly.
Well, who knows? Maybe, I turn to Cadence. You know, hey, maybe there's a way we can try to blend all of our performances. Who knows? Maybe we could put on a thing. That'd be fun, right?
Yes. I think it would be more of a odd dance.
It would be avant-garde, that's for sure.
Guess
Meridia kind of speaks up.
Certainly is a word for it.
I mean, Meridia can, like, arrange some flowers, and I can dance with them, and you can debate with Toshiko on whether or not she can sculpt a dick better or not. Who knows?
Meridia just... That's really the best you could come up with?
On the fly, yes. I am drinking.
As am I.
Okay, you have any ideas?
Yes.
Madam?
Rather than performing outright, what if I were to arrange some flowers and decorate the space? Cadence could tell a story. You know, regale the tavern with the tale of what happens when we actually solve this problem. Toshiko can craft some sort of statue in someone's honor, perhaps.
She could make props.
In the yes, to aid in the storytelling.
And I can interpret it with a
Yes.
pole dance routine.
The pole dance.
That's where I kind of lose it.
You-
We'll workshop it.
I believe
We'll
that you had
workshop
lost it long ago.
We'll workshop it. It's fine.
I feel like my skills are more suited to just not so much regale a story, but more so roast a crowd. If I'm being honest, but we'll see if it had to come to that.
I believe that you could tell a quite rousing tale if you really put your mind to it, Cadence.
Thank you. Cadence is like trying not to blush.
Okay, so what time does this music usually start?
The half-orc kind of just... Hilal, when does that creepy music start up, usually? And he just goes, well, it's typically just about when we're going to start the trials. So if we normally start at about... It's generally just before midnight, I think. Yes, it's just before midnight that it usually happens.
So we got some time to kill.
What are these trials?
Oh, and Hilal comes over and he's like very excited about this. And He's just so. What we do is not everyone can just perform on our stage. The Gibbous is something of a more illustrious place. It's a little more well known. So, in order to perform here, you have to have a pin that tells you, hey, you are allowed to play here. You have to pay money in order to attempt for this pin. You can try as many times as you like, but if you succeed, that gets you in for free when the night actually kicks off. We don't charge to come in the door before the festivities have begun.
What do you have to do? Other
Perform.
than pay. Oh.
So you pay. You come to me at the. You come to me typically. Qatar is usually the more of the maintenance and sort of day-to-day handling of things. I do more with the performance side of things. And you'll come to me and you'll say, "Hey, I would like to try for my pin." And we'll get you set up. You'll perform, and I'll talk to the crowd, see what people think. And then after that, that will be the deciding factor of whether you receive your pin or you walk away disappointed.
Oh, so it's based off of how well the crowd receives you.
That is how a bard should be. You are not just performing to perform. You are performing to bring something to your audience. Artistry is great, but if your art does not move others, what is the point?
I'm sure there's whole, like, academic papers specifically on that exact question. But I can't answer that. That's Mike talking. I have no fucking idea.
That's certainly a large speculation that I don't really want to delve into. I have my reasons for art. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we do have some dinner planned for tonight. If you would like to stick around, we'll make sure that you're well fed. You'll be, of course, completely on our tab. If you're trying to solve this problem that's been plaguing the town for a bit now, we would help you however we can.
I'm down.
Thank you for your generosity.
Meridia's just like been quietly sipping her rum, and she's been like, the first time after you guys stopped like really focusing on the drinking, she went, and then since then it's been just a careful sip. Just she's actually starting to like enjoy it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's an acquired taste.
One of those things that you just have to keep at it, yes. Again, you can have a chaser.
This is it tastes like I have fallen asleep next to a campfire.
Good way to put it.
What does yours taste like?
Gin and tonic.
You can't really describe gin and tonic. It's more of a
She just very quietly reaches over and takes your glass.
Okay.
Takes a sip. And she
didn't want to touch his drink.
She thinks of you as a little sister.
Eat shit.
Don't her. That's so mean.
And she takes a sip of it and just kind of and shoves it back at you.
Again, it's something you build up
Peter,
taste for.
fucking.
What did he do?
I suppose it makes sense that you would enjoy a drink that takes some getting used to.
Are you saying that she took some getting used to?
All of you have been a sort of learning curve.
For what? I wasn't listening. I say in character.
And Meridia is just... I am very grateful for all of your company. And thank you for helping me through earlier.
Thanks for putting up with us. Not many would.
All things considered, I think you all are a lot more pleasant with a few drinks down your gullet.
Just wait a bit. I'll get real sad.
Oh,
Meridia just kind of glares over, but it's like one of those clearly kind of playful glares.
Cadence is for some reason so much more pleasant after again.
She's
It's
so
awful.
tense all the time.
You guys spend the rest of this leading up afternoon. Actually, the pair of owners ask you to help some setting up stuff. You know, taking down the barricades in front of the stairs, rearranging some of the seating.
I negotiate with them about. We already got the free drinks. This is like a whole other thing where we're definitely getting.
Oh yeah, no. Like they paid you up front for this. Like each of you gets about 15 gold for helping the setup.
Go write that down.
Yeah.
Nice.
And like you start your negotiations and it's clear that like they're nodding along with you, and at a certain point like you get kind of, we'll say you probably get a little heated. You've had a little bit to drink, you're getting a little passionate.
Start talking about like union laws and like.
Oh my god.
Roll me a performance check.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let me do quick math. 24.
Yeah, so
Did I do that?
Probably.
24. Whatever. It's more than 20.
So the two of them just kind of are nodding along with you the whole time. And eventually Hillel stops you as you're getting like really passionate. And he just says, Miss Cadence, we were going to pay you from the get-go. You said that this is your performance, correct? Debating and argument?
Yes.
Well then, I suppose you're going to be paid a little bit extra for your performance.
As I should be.
So everybody gets 15 gold. Cadence, you get 30.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice, Cadence.
So you are all tasked to help set up things through various means. Nobody is put to work in a way that is harmful to them in any way. You know, they can read the room a little bit and tell people's limitations and what they're skilled at. So like Toshiko is largely asked to help with organizing stuff behind the bar, making sure things are cleaned up and prepped because it's, you know, stationary and can be easily observed from one point of view.
So what does the bar look like?
It's a very long, deep wooden, like a dark wooden bar. And there are rows of shelves behind it with just filled with bottles of various kinds.
A little bit of underlighting, you know?
Yeah, there's a little bit.
Nice.
There's clearly some enchanting done here to kind of make there's a row of glasses hanging up from the top, you know, wine glasses, champagne flutes, rocks glasses, you know, all the proper stuff. They're doing things proper here. And you can actually see that there's no candles or lanterns or anything up there, but it is giving off enough light to light behind the bar.
Cool.
Toshiko is going to, like, kind of point towards the lighting and everything. Do you have enough lighting? Can you see very well here?
Katara is just, oh, yes, absolutely. This is, one of the enchanters from the school came down, and, it's the greatest thing. We don't have to do anything to it. It just stays lit.
Yes, I can do something similar.
Really?
Yes. Would you like a demonstration? Call it my performance?
Sure. How about you do this? Hey, hello! And the half-elf looks up from where he's talking with Junie about, positioning some of the seating. And he's just, what? Grab your loot. Play his little thing. And he's just, I'm busy. Fine.
It's
And he
okay.
kind of-
I got this. I've got the aesthetic down. The pattern's fine.
He walks over to the stage, grabs a very finely crafted lute from a case sitting near the foot of the stage, pulls up a stool and just kind of plops down and just starts fucking shredding. Like, we're talking some serious virtuosity here.
This is just Duel of the Banjos.
And, Katara just kind of leans down to Toshiko and just goes, show us what he's actually, like, I can't really see him from here. Would you help us out?
So she smiles. She reaches into her sleeves and pulls out a little, tinkerer's kit, tinkerer's tool, and a bunch of clay. And so she kind of... What would she want to make? Fuck it, she's drunk and she's gonna go with what she knows. She makes a tiny little version of Tenchi, like a little tiny little Tanuki statue who's holding a little tiny lamp in his little tiny Tanuki hand. So he's
my
just
God.
like, so it's just a little guy and he's holding up the lamp, and then she kind of, does a little bit of tinkering, and then she taps him on the head, and the lamp just lights up 5 feet of bright light.
And he just kind of picks up the little statue. That is quite clever artificing. Here, let me try something. And he actually sets the statue down and he actually asks for a couple of your tools. And he works on it for a minute, and he seems to have added these almost draconic wings to the Tanuki.
Very neat.
And he just goes, let's see what this does. And he kind of taps it on the forehead. It takes flight. And now there's like a revolving light that moves to position for the best lighting over Hilal.
Ah, we made stage lighting. Awesome.
You
Meanwhile, Meridia is actually spending some time. She actually left for probably about an hour or so, just about at sundown. And as she's coming back is when the bar is starting to fill up. You guys have, for the most part, it's not filled up, I should say. Actually, there's just there's groups of early birds who are coming in and kind of making their way all the way up to the top level and just kind of camping out at their very nice tables. And it's at this point that Meridia comes back. She's just been gone for an hour. She said something, but she left and now is back with 2 large bundles of cloth.
2 bundles. I go up to her. I'm like, who are you?
Well, I needed to do my daily prayers. And she kind of stops, and as she's carrying these 2 bundles of cloth, she hands one to you, Cadence. And it's just like, help me with this, please.
God, is it a child?
It's just fucking skeletons.
As you hold on to it, it's bundles and bundles of flowers. And they're very fragrant. You can tell that these were probably just picked.
Oh, it's your artwork.
Yes, I wanted to decorate the gibbous as sort of a thank you for their help.
Well, they'll certainly appreciate it.
And as she's walking around to these various little vases and little places that she set up earlier, she's just walking with you and taking flowers from your bundle or from hers. And as she's doing so, she's like, I'm not sure how much you know about a cleric's tasks that they must perform.
I understand that it's daily.
And each cleric sometimes will have a personal time at which they will convene with their deity. The most typical are when they are waking up in the morning or when they are going to bed for the evening. However, certain deities have preferred times of day. So if you pray to them at these times, you are seen to be in more favor to those deities. So,
Does yours prefer at sundown?
at dusk, yes.
That makes sense, seeing as you're towards the sword.
Yes, you don't have to mention as much.
Figured.
And by the time that you guys have finished, you guys, mostly still have nice small talk together.
Does this all count as a short rest, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna roll some hit dice then.
Yeah, you guys can roll some hit dice if you need to.
Remember, it also resets your bardic inspirations.
CC.
Cadence, would you like to catch, Actually, no. I'll figure out a way of doing this more naturally. That it's not
Catch
just
me
me.
off? Already did, bro.
I mean, yes, but... And she just kind of watches as, I'm gonna say at this point... Do you think Junie would have started just, doing some stretches and dancing maybe up on the stage while, Hilal was playing?
Junie would have first ensured that any of the seating that isn't around a table has safe walkways and actually has a good vantage point of whatever the mark. There's usually an X in center stage, so I'm just going to use that as the mark, I suppose. She has made sure that everyone gets a good enough view of the stage. There's no bad seats.
You can see actually with the way that this building has been laid out in a almost crescent moon shape, that it is in fact set up in such a way that there's almost never going to be a bad seat in the house.
All right, yeah. After that's all squared away and she's sure of that, she stands on center stage and just kind of does some warm-ups. Outcome dancing lights just kind of rotate around her. Moves her spear around. Basically, just does like a hoop dance or a poi dance with the stuff.
I like it.
Just something mesmerizing to have going on in the background, and it counts as a solid warm-up for her.
And by this point, Hilal is actually playing alongside your dancing, and he'll look at you, kind of giving you a gesture, and then change the tempo up or change the meter up. So go ahead and roll me a performance check.
I'm not going to use that die. That die has been rolling 11s all day. Let's do...
I'm trying to let you all actually have some fun with performance.
Let's do bone dice. That's unfortunate. Oh, but I have a +8, so 16.
You're not used to the stage with its own lighting and the way the room is laid out, because the upper seating does loom just a little bit.
Yeah, Junie's kind of doing that. She's dancing fine, but like she's kind of looking at her feet a little too much.
And Hilal can actually see that and kind of goes, just ease into it slowly. And so he changes up the tempo into a more like a triplet beat rather than a quicker tempo.
Oh, that's the moneymaker right there. Fucking triplet beats.
And at this point, Meridia just kind of looks around, is watching Toshiko work with Qatar, like just tinkering on various little things around the bar. Like he shows you what the icebox is and how it's working. It's literally like a fridge underneath the bar.
Very neat.
And she's just like, huh. You know, for all of the vitriol we seem to have gotten so far, perhaps we are all still bards after all.
Well, of course. Didn't he say it? That performance is just about expression and about getting a reaction.
And Meridia's just like smiling very like warmly.
I mean, Toshiko said it. I think it's nice that school. We're just going to say that it's nice that we get to spread our wings outside of the school.
Agreed. And it's at this point that more crowds start to file in, and Hilal brings your dance to an end. Like he's definitely playing in such a way and nods at you, like, "Hey, this is the last set."
We bring it to a nice resolve in the dancing lights that are like at this point they're at the tips of her spear, so it's just going kind of thing, and she just brings it together and it all flickers out.
The crowd that's actually there does applaud for you guys quite uproariously. And he says, he actually leans over to you, Junie, and just says, if you'd like, I can knock a few coins off of the chance for your pin, if you'd like to try for it.
I wouldn't mind that.
And he just kind of pats you on the shoulder, Junie, and the next few hours are spent, you know, you guys are basically honored guests at this tavern. Like, you're given a full 3-course meal, just some of the best food you've had in a while. Like, the school's not bad food, but this is a step above that.
Nice.
I know, good food.
It's like house-made bread.
Meridia is just giving Cadence a look like, oh, so now you'll eat?
This is fresh. This is better. Actually eating something other than buttered noodles, like, I don't know.
That isn't being shoved at her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a couple of drinks in you and you're actually pleasant to be around. Who'd have thought?
Meridia's just like, it didn't take her much to get to a much more pleasant state.
Yep, only a couple.
All should appreciate it more.
I do. And she just kind of gives you, like, this very little bit of a smile as she's sipping her rum. It's still the same glass from earlier.
I knock back my my third gin and tonic.
Junie is extra quiet, actually, after that for a little bit.
As more and more people come in, Toshiko is gonna get just more and more quiet. She's kind of had time to pass on from her drink. She isn't drunk anymore. And as like more and more people come in and you know, she's having to watch her step, eventually she like goes to one of the upper places and just finds a place to perch with Tenchi on her lap and just people watches.
Yeah, Qatar comes up now and then and, like, brings you glasses of milk, checks up on you. Like, he brings your dinner plate to you personally.
I'll actually offer to bring it up to her myself.
Okay, he kind of, by all means, he passes on the plate of dinner.
I go upstairs and I just, I bring Toshiko her meal. Here you go.
Thank you. People tend to stare, ask questions. I don't want to take away from the fun.
You're not. That's actually kind of why I'm up here. I don't really want to take away from the fun.
Oh, you bring the fun.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to lose the buzz, so once it goes down, it's all, it's less fun from there.
She
So,
kinda just...
yes, what does she kind of
No,
just?
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was
I
gonna
was just
say,
gonna say she just quietly eats her meal.
yeah, while you're eating, I guess, then, after a few moments of silence. So, what do you think of, Meridia and Cadence? They're quite a pair.
Yes. They obviously have the hots for each other.
Mm-hmm. What about you? I've seen that look before.
Meridia has a kindness that you don't see very much anymore.
Oh, well. You may not see it, but don't worry about it. There's plenty more like her.
So, and she, takes a bite of her food. What's got your panties in a twist?
No panties, honey.
I should have expected that one. I absolutely should have been expecting that one.
You should have.
No,
I'm
man.
disappointed you weren't.
Lined up that one so well.
Um,
No, I after trying not to laugh for a moment. um no, fuck it, that happened in character. That was funny as hell. Um Junie says, I knew someone very much like Meridia once. That's why I'm a little older. In the academy, I spent a little time just figuring things out. Don't think I really worked. And yeah, that wasn't really worth her time.
I don't think that's the case. You are very entertaining.
I think that was the problem. That's fine. I'm here to work on my own craft.
You know, I always find that my sculpting is the best when I am taking care of myself, when I'm making sure that I'm at peace. You didn't seem at peace up there.
Well, there's not really much I can do to bring myself peace. Maven's gone, and she's never coming back, no matter how at peace I am.
But is you being caught up over it and self-deprecating and self-sabotaging going to... That's not going to bring her back either. Be at peace for yourself.
Yep, working on it. Takes another swig.
Self-care, self-care.
Nice, nice.
She's gonna have an unresolved character arc at the end of this. It's fine.
I'm trying.
So, as the night continues on, you all are, at one point, there's a couple of different performers that come up and try for their pin, and most of them for the night, there's maybe one or two that are successful, and when they are, you can see that there is a glint of metal as Halil passes over the pin almost ceremoniously to the performer, and then the place just explodes in applause. And you can see that there's some sort of large ceremonial tankard that is brought down from the bar and served some sort of drink as they come down from the stage.
Nice.
It's now probably about 11 o'clock or so. You guys have not been drinking the whole time. Like, Qatar has been very aware of your of everybody's levels, and he cuts off Junie at a certain point, just like
She's salty
knowing
about it.
He gets her some extra dessert. It's like this very nice like bread pudding.
She's less salty.
Ooh, bread pudding.
Meridia literally finishes that one glass of rum like an hour before the time that we've moved ahead towards, and she is like, I think I'm good for a while. And Katara's just like, the rest of the night? You want one after the performance? No. For a few months. Not that I'm channeling myself or anything. No. And were you gonna say something, Tiff?
I was saying, like, and that's okay.
At one point, Hilal comes up to you, Junie. Are you still sitting up on the third level with Toshiko?
After a bit, Junie kind of just wanders off on her own.
Just kind of mingling around the crowd?
Yeah, just mingling around. Just kind of flirting with anyone cute. Like, not really doing anything. Really.
There's a lot of very fashionable people here. Like, this is clearly one of the top places in town.
Yeah, she's schmoozing it up. But she's like any of the classmates, Kinesis, Toshiko, or Meridia, like, she's clearly just like in her own head.
At one point, as you're passing by a table on the second level, Hilal is talking to a couple of patrons, just schmoozing in his own way, and he kind of looks over and just waves you down, Junie.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, as you come closer, he just says, "Did you want to try for your pin?"
You know what? Yeah. Got some things I need to work out.
All right, let me go get the crowd set up for this. And so he just says, "Leave some silver at the bar with Qatar, and it'll be settled." And so after about 15 minutes or so, Hilal is going around the tavern talking to various folk, and eventually he kind of gives you a look from the bottom level and just kind of goes, like, "Yes, now it's time."
All right, and before Junie gets to the stage, she's going to make Toshiko's seat like an on the way thing. She's gonna lean down to Toshiko and say, you know, the only time I've really been able to think clearly is when I'm dancing, so I'm gonna go down there and think for a bit.
Make sure you're dancing for yourself, okay?
Always. Wish me luck.
Luck.
And so as you start approaching the stage, or as you come down,
as an inspiration?
I don't know. Is that
Yeah.
Wait. No, no.
Yeah. No, what?
I was gonna say. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to read this. Hold on.
Oh shit, are we gonna like, is this...
I don't know if I can do this on someone else though.
What were you trying to do?
I wanted to say that, okay, first of all, when you go up to Kamar, try for the pin. I'm at the bar drinking and I guess chatting with Meridia, and I see that you're, I don't know, paying for something. You're trying for the pin?
Hey, fuck it.
you're
I didn't hear what you said, what?
Oh, what were you going to say, Meridia?
I have no doubt that you'll be able to succeed. You clearly have far more skill than most of the performers that have gone up there, even the ones who succeeded today.
Well, when you... How do I put this? Dancing is kind of a... It's more of a fight with yourself than anything else. You're not really fighting against the chance of, you know, you failing, hitting a note or mispronouncing a word or perhaps the stem of your flowers snap. It's... I am the instrument. And if I fail, it's all me. So yeah, I'm doing it.
You know what, Jennifer? I wasn't sure how I felt about you when I first met you, but all things considered, I think you're the best bet to fucking show up these music types. I believe in you. Also, Troy, I want to ask you if I can cast this on Juniper. She goes,
I'll allow it.
nice. Okay, so then I pull Juniper in, with my shark teeth. I say, can break a leg. And I cast Unearthly Chorus on her.
You like pull her in?
By the back of the neck.
You see Meridia actually, like, you see her eyes, like, narrow just a tiny bit.
Don't think too much.
She
Yeah.
Junie gives her the give her the quickest peck and just goes.
King wreck shit, Juniper!
Meridia just stifles a laugh and just, wreck shit! Toshiko, you're hearing that as the crowd is starting to die down, because you can see Kamar actually, and I realize I got his name wrong for like most of the night.
Okay, he's your character.
Whatever.
His name is Kamar, not Qatar. You
Pretty
see
sure it's a
Kamar
base.
actually like move over to a small like block on the wall, and Toshiko, he had shown you this earlier. This controls some of the lights in the gibbous.
Yes.
And he kind of just touches the side panel of one, and the lights in the whole place start to fade some. And the crowd just instinctively starts to die down. And that's about when we hear Cadence and Meridia both shout, wreck shit!
Shit!
I'm not
So
gonna
you
lie,
just
that got
hear
me a
that
little
come-
flustered.
You hear that come up from the first floor, Toshiko.
I don't have anything I can use to buff.
No, but if
Alright.
you just wanted to say something.
No, she's just watching.
She's already given me
All right.
some inspirational words.
Yeah, I did give her inspiration.
Okay,
So-
so you've got an inspiration, plus you've got Unearthly Chorus on you.
Which gives you advantage for
Should I use the advantage die?
And
Well, you're not rolling just yet. Give us a second. I still got some narration to do.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom while you're narrating.
Okay. So, Hilal has you come up to the side of the stage, and you're just kind of like on deck. There's no backstage or anything. You're just kind of like off to one side.
Yeah.
And he steps up to the stage and just says, "Ladies and gentlemen of the..." And he gives that same look that you saw earlier when you came in, where he's like, was trying to clearly figure out if it was waxing or waning gibbous.
Yeah.
Except when he does this, he like exaggerates it to the point where he's like looking off this way, then looking off that way. Then he looks off towards the back wall, and you just hear a chorus of people just shouting, waxing, waning, just and he just, "Ladies and gentlemen of the waning gibbous," and then there's half of the crowd is cheering, the other half is kind of like grumbling. "Tonight, we bring you something extremely rare. We are used to the liars and the loots, and we're also used to liars and looters." And they start laughing, like, clearly this guy is the life of the party here.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
But we will often have students from the Royal Academy, the Dorian Royal Academy of the Arts, performing for us. That is nothing new. However, we have someone from the esteemed performance division that does not carry an instrument with her. No, she is in fact her own instrument.
Ooh.
She has proven today to not only be quite adept as a performer, but she will bring joy and brightness to your hearts at all times. Give me just a moment. I'm pulling something up that I needed for notes.
Suspicious.
So he says, with a flourish, and it's the way he's saying it is very clear, like, this is your intro.
Yeah.
And he says, "Ladies, gentlemen, and others of the waning gibbous, I present to you Miss Juniper Brimule." And he walks off the stage, and everybody's applauding.
Oh, God.
As you step up, Junie, the lights are positioned as such that you can see just the first row of chairs and like the end of the bar where Meridia and Cadence are sitting just like ready.
She takes a breath.
Everything else past that is basically deep shadows.
Okay.
Think house lights are down, stage lights are way up.
Very familiar with that view.
Why do you think I described it as such?
I have anxiety, and I'm not even the one doing this.
But in that darkness, for just a moment, you see a shade of slate gray clay shift all the way up in the back.
I take a very deep breath, seeing my two cheerleaders. I kind of laugh a little bit to myself, thinking about those giant clay balls. And, should I roll first?
Remember, you have Unearthly Chorus.
Yeah.
That means you can make Charisma performance check. And the specific wording for it is that, in addition, you can use the bonus action on each of your turn to beguile one creature you choose within 30 feet of you to see they can hear the music that you choose. So, like, you're emitting music.
Okay. So I can charm someone if I so choose. Okay.
But you are emitting music in a 100-foot radius, which is, coincidentally, enough to fill the room.
Yeah.
And you notice this... Go ahead.
I was going to start describing the performance and hope I roll well.
As you start to dance, you're imagining music in your head. I'm sure you are. That's how a lot of dances go. You start imagining it as you're doing it.
Mm.
But then you realize you're not actually imagining it. You're actually hearing it around you.
Okay, so this is actually my dream. This was my dream as a dancer. Oh my god. So Junie begins with her spear on the floor of the stage in front of her. She is just standing just in a very nice like feet apart, just a nice kind of a powerful stance, but nothing too aggressive. Just this powerful, strong stance. And as the music starts, it is a single cello. It's a single cello just playing this mournful, sad, very slow piece that slowly gets faster and faster in tempo. And I'm not going to describe all of the things that she does, but Junie basically tells a story of a powerful warrior character who travels, falls in love, settles down, and that's a cat. Settles down, and there's this falling out between characters, and the piece ends with this singular warrior character alone, and the whole time there's notes of like a calling. There's a repeated movement that's a calling to action almost, that is continually ignored until the piece finally ends with that last call to action not being ignored but followed through. And the spear gets picked up as the cello ends, and the ends of the spear light up as she raises it slowly. And I'm gonna roll dice now.
Yes, roll. You get advantage because of Unearthly Chorus.
You can save your verdict for afterwards.
To see if I need it. So I'm gonna use blue for Cadence and this pale one for Toshiko.
Oh no.
Cool.
Is it a D8 or a D6? It's a D6, right? For inspiration?
Good question.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Uh,
It's okay if Junie doesn't get the pin, because the fact of doing this dance piece is cathartic enough for her. Is it a D6? I think it's a D6.
That's a D6.
Okay,
Yeah.
rolling the D6. Okay, so altogether that's a, goddamn, that fucking sucks. It's a 1 point higher than what she did earlier. It's a 17.
Not that bad.
Actually, I'm going to bring in.
Oh shit. She's visibly like crying midway through the piece.
So, the crowd is mesmerized by your performance. Like, they're just enraptured. There's not a. You could hear a pin drop. Besides the music, obviously. Ding! As the performance wraps up, everyone is silent. The whole place is just still as the grave, to use poor terminology.
Just tears.
Give me just a moment. I was trying to look something up. That's what I was. As you finish up, you see a figure approaching the stage. This figure seems to have shoulder length hair. Can't quite tell if they're clearly humanoid of a slighter build and are just dressed in the finest clothing you've ever seen. Like just some of the most like professional bardic look that you've ever seen. Lots of gold jewelry, handsome good looks. And as he steps up to the stage, he just says, or he starts to say something. And you just hear, as he speaks, just a sting of music that you realize for a moment is a lute dropping to the ground nearby. And suddenly you realize, oh wait, that figure wasn't this strange, not human, not elf creature. That figure was Hilal approaching the stage, like checking on you, like, Junie, are you all right?
Yeah.
All right, stay right here. I'm going to go see what the crowd says. The house lights come up a little bit, the stage lights go down, and you're just asked to kind of sit on the stage for a moment. You're given a stool to kind of sit and cool down.
She's like fanning herself.
And he only takes about 10 minutes.
That's a long time.
Try to get like a clap going. Can I do a help?
You trying to get a slow clap going?
This sucks. Ugh.
And after this 10 minutes have passed, and it's mostly just you can see him. He is weaving in and out of the tables. It takes him that long to get through every section.
Oh my goodness.
And eventually he comes to Toshiko and just says, "So, what'd you think?"
I thought it was very nice. I thought that it explained a lot. We saw her soul.
And that's the essence of performance, isn't it?
Exactly.
That soul was only 17. A cat.
Thank you. And he kind of makes his way back down to the bar. And Junie, you're watching him walk back down after clearly talking to Toshiko. And then he goes to Meridia and Cadence. So, what did you two think?
That was beautiful.
It was. And you can actually see, and Cadence, you had seen this. The moment that it was clear that Junie was crying, Meridia was just like dabbing at her eyes, like trying to keep from crying.
Damn.
Say again?
Say, oh damn.
Like she's still like bawling pretty much.
I don't have a tissue on me. I grab one of the bar napkins and try to pass it to her.
She takes it and just kind of like takes your hand for a moment as she does. Just, I had no idea she was so skilled.
This is Juniper's soul, and she bore it to us, and I think that was beautiful. It deserves full credit. 500 gold. Don't know how this system works.
No, you don't. And he just kind of pats you on the shoulder and makes his way back towards the stage. Kamar lowers the lights again slightly. It's not quite as pitch black as before, but this is a ceremonial moment.
This is awful.
So, at this point, Hilal comes up to the stage once again and kind of walks up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And he just holds out his hand like, you did a good job.
Thank you. I'm gonna do the thing.
You feel something pressing into your hand.
Ah! I'm just biggest smile, still crying a little bit, but like biggest smile.
You gonna look at it?
I'm gonna like feel it in my hand first.
It is, a decently sized lapel pin from what you can tell. There's a small like fastener on the back of it. It's made of smooth metal and seems to be in the shape of a full circle, but you can tell that there is an indent that seems to be able to flip one side or the other.
Love that.
That's neat.
Ooh.
I'll now look down at it.
And it is a pin that seems to be able to switch between a waxing and a waning gibbous
That's awesome.
moon.
What's the deal with the waxing and waning?
We'll find it out eventually. Who knows? Maybe Finnan opened this fucking place.
Literally just ask him!
I am happy.
You look down and the moon portion, like the portion that's actually displaying the moon, is this brilliant gold.
Oh wow.
And the other part of the moon is like this burnished silver. So it's very clear the moon that will stand out depending on how it's positioned.
Nice.
And the moment that happens, you did not get much, like you got some applause from your classmates. Like Cadence was very uproarious, like clapping.
A very loud golf clap.
Meridia joined in. But you can see that largely the crowd does not clap. The moment that they see Hilal's hand pull away, a bit of the light, and you can actually see Kamar like flares up the light just a little bit, and it glints off of the pin, and the place explodes.
Oh my god.
And we all die.
What'd you say, Tiff?
I was just like, oh, it's one of those things where everyone waits to clap. That's stupid.
And just everyone, like, Hilal just says, he walks with you actually over to the bar, and he kind of looks up trying to get Tenchi's attention to motion for Toshiko to come down and join them.
She'll make her way down.
The crowd is like bustling, but when they see that Hilal's motion to you specifically, the crowd actually parts around you some. Like, they're not shoving you away, they're not like shying away, they're just like, oh, my apologies, you're one of the honored guests, of course, please come through.
This is all gonna go horribly wrong at some point.
And you guys all make it back down to the bar, and Hilal is just like, Juniper, me and Kamar have been running this place for nigh on 2 decades at this point. We have never seen anything like that.
I mean, I only rolled a 17. I could probably do something even better given some time.
Cadence is rolling her eyes so hard, like, it's that long for your
my fucking
ceremony.
god, just take the fucking cup!
What
was
just
that?
happened?
I did the vine, oh my fucking god, just take the fucking compliment!
Oh yeah.
I was just saying that, like, it's not that hard to clap after a good performance. It's a call and response.
You are very right, Miss Cadence, but the crowd here knows that when one of the trials is being performed, it's seen as something of a, you clap for when you know the result.
It's
Think a
stressful is
performance-
what it is. I need to go take a shit.
Is it? And Toshiko makes her way back at this point.
Okay, so you're going to go take a shit.
Okay, look. Anyone who has ever performed on a stage knows about anxiety shits.
Oh,
I'll be back.
I'm not.
And
Oh,
she's
what I was
gone.
going to tell. What I was going to tell you, Junie. He like actually tries to stop you.
Okay.
When you come back, I'm going to get the crowd aware, but you may have a number of patrons or people asking for your performances around their courts and things like that. It's something of one of the benefits of passing the trials is people know of you. You will have a following of sorts.
I may not have thought this through. That's fine,
Go-
fuck it.
Go and have your anxiety.
I'm gonna go do that.
And it's probably just about 11 o'clock by this point.
Okay.
And so the crowd is clearly like, by the time that Junie comes back, the crowd is, there's some wealthy patrons coming up and just handing you gifts, bits of jewelry. There's a few that are just lavishing you in praise.
Junior's just hamming it up. The whole time.
And meanwhile, they're just like, the attention is also brought to the rest of the party as well. A few people actually look to Meridia and actually speak with her in hushed tones. Cadence, you being so close, they're asking if she can perform last rites for a few of the missing that had not come back. And she speaks in a very professional manner, but you can tell that she is honored that they would come to her in the first place. There's actually like a little bit of a blush on her cheeks from the attention.
Very proud. I like kind of butt in sometimes to the very pushy ones to try and insist that they need to schedule an appointment.
And Meridia is just like, yes, I will perhaps need some help sorting out the everything.
Yes, if you really need the assistance of my friend here, try contacting her at this. And I pull out like a business card from nowhere.
And she's just like, at this point, she is like latching onto your arm a little bit. She's not used to all the attention, and she's just like, and I will need your assistance to everything.
Manager mode.
Nice.
And a few of them are like coming up and just fawning over Tenshi.
Tenchi will kind of like walk up to someone, and does anyone have like a straw in their drink?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So actually no, is there a broom nearby?
What the fuck is he gonna do?
Yeah, there's a broom that Kamar is using to like sweep up some mess that was made.
Tenchi is going to
I couldn't get to the
grab-
bathroom very quick.
He's going to towards Kamar with the broom.
Kamar passes it over like ceremoniously.
And he jumps up on the bar next to Judy and starts like dancing with the broom, like mimicking as best as he can. Like he pole dances with the broom, essentially.
Do like a full what is that?
Do I need to do a check for this?
I rolled for him.
Uh-oh, what did he get?
Oh, very low. He is a small tubby tanuki. He is
Yeah.
but
What is up with our internet tonight?
going on, so it's been fucky all day. But it's okay, because as you guys are just lavishing in this praise, and they're just like, everybody is singing your praises, Junie, and people are like being extremely respectful towards Meridia, and the ones who aren't are very quickly shot down by Cadence. And
People are giving Toshiko her space, though, right? Because I know she's got some, like...
yeah, they're just loving Tenshi right now, but
Okay.
Kamar is even like, Kamar is actually the one who comes around the bar at one point when people are crowding, and he kind of just says very quietly to a few of the people, make some room now. And he says it in such this just present voice. Not deep, not angry, just
This is going
it's
to
very
happen.
clear that his voice means something in this place.
I love
And
him.
they don't scatter, but they very clearly go, oh. And Kamara actually moves Toshiko to a corner seat where her back is to a wall, and she can still, clearly relax. And she has poured a tall glass of milk, and Kamara actually finds a small pot of something, pours it in, stirs, and it starts to turn this deep brown. You got chalky milk.
Oh.
Chalky milk.
Oh.
Nice.
Yes, this pleases her. She,
And-
she has Tenchi walk around and is kind of just like enjoying the mood of everyone through him, but she kind of sits by herself, like she's just vibing, drinking her chalky milk.
And as all of this is happening, the camera, so none of you guys can actually see or hear any of this is happening. This is for the viewer. The camera pans out from the waning gibbous as we see like a flyover of the academy village, and just near that cemetery, or that graveyard rather,
Terminology.
we just see like this distortion of the air a little bit.
So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for being here. If you are listening to this on iTunes, please be sure to leave us a review because it super duper helps us out. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment about your favorite part, and your predictions for the next episode. Please go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dicey-decisions. There's cool stuff, fun bonuses, and it helps us keep the lights on. I have not been posting there lately, but there's still a bunch of cool stuff from Arc 1 of the main campaign. So go ahead and check that out. Once again, thank you all so much for being here. Please, be safe, share some love, and tell a story. Good night.